All right. So, welcome to Hypocrisy Now.
Now.
The hypocrisy.
Dink.
America's fucked up, and so are we. Cheers. Cheers. I'm Rachel,
I'm
and
Sarah.
the Kid Rock to my to my RFK Jr. Unless you want
That's
to be
the
RFK Jr.
no. I take no, whatever.
The ball to the ball to my bang to bang boogie.
I do like to wear cutoff jeans and no shirt, so
Welcome to our podcast because
yeah.
there aren't enough out there.
No, definitely not enough 40 something ladies giving their opinions about shit.
Let's talk about why we're here. Freedom of speech is under attack. The billionaires are taking over all of our television shows and TV stations, and CBS 60 Minutes is no longer cool for our parents. The Ellisons own everything, TikTok, Paramount. You can't trust anything anymore, so let's talk about it. How this all started with something called Project 2025.
Ugh.
I remember Trump was like, never heard of it. I have nothing to do with it. What Project 2025? Written by over 70 assholes, including Stephen Miller and Russell Vaught. But these people are all a part of the Heritage Foundation, which I told you about, and then
Ruined
you
my day. Thank you.
You're welcome. You had to go into a rabbit hole of what the Heritage Foundation is. So besides a conservative think tank, what else can you tell us about the Heritage Foundation?
Oh gosh, well, I have it pulled up, so I will just give you a brief synopsis of their own. For 50 years, which was also shocking, the
Hmm.
Heritage Foundation has led the way for reforms in every policy area from taxes and regulation to crime and national defense, with more than 100 policy experts, term used loosely, tackling complex issues with simple and effective conservative solutions, meaning, ladies, stay home,
Stay at
shut up,
home.
get pregnant. It's defending our liberties and founding principles. The work has paid off time and again with major policy victories since we first opened our doors in 1973. Well, nothing has evolved since then.
So they're fighting for this white culture, right?
Yep.
Sarah, what is white culture?
Mashed potatoes,
Hmm.
saying things like it's not my first rodeo,
Hmm.
or you got me there, guy. Uggs. Uh,
Cracker Barrel.
Cracker Barrel. That's a good
I
one.
think I think that's like the epitome of white culture
Yeah.
is Cracker Barrel.
Yeah, that's about it. And
It's in our
probably
name.
not.
It's
That's
in the name.
probably not because that's people who were enslaved over here had to
Their
cook.
recipes.
Nothing. We
Hmm.
got none. We got nothing. We were proud to be a melting pot. That was what
Yeah.
made America great.
If anybody wants to define white culture for me, please comment.
Yeah.
Let us know. Hey, Project 2025. I just feel that we need a refresher. I don't think people realize how far this has gotten. They're already 51% over their goal, and that should fucking scare people. Gutting abortion access. We've been fighting back on that. That's not fully accomplished yet.
Meanwhile, also trying to
Uh,
cut welfare, so they're going to
hmm.
force women
Hmm.
who are apparently culpable for everything, right?
Yeah, we're the
So
problem. Just SE and
100%.
cells.
Absolutely. Yep. So they're going to force women to have babies. And look, here's the reality. I wish it was that all these babies that are unwanted or aborted or terminated or whatever, if that couldn't happen, they'd be born into these loving homes that could take care of them. And all right, well, that's just not the case. It's
No.
just not the case.
Mm-mm.
So you're going to see an increase in child sex trafficking, eventually homelessness, crime. All of these things in short order are going to increase, which is going to be a huge tax on the American people, government, resources, all of these things, because they can't support that if that's the system that we create.
Absolutely. The next topic here is mass deportations,
Yep.
where apparently they're okay just murdering people in the streets. And these are actually people who are part of the society, not some little baby who can't even pay rent. So, mass deportations, obviously, we've already seen that. Warrantless surveillance. So, this one abusing warrantless surveillance. So, this one's interesting to me because they're doing this stuff at the protest. These ICE agents were scanning people's license plates and they go, bam, you're in a database now as Antifa or whatever.
Are we going to have
So,
to start wearing armbands pretty soon and registering? And I mean, it's even. even the places they're taking these illegal immigrants are like concentration camps.
Oh,
There's one here
absolutely.
and they barely get fed, and it's, you know, I mean, it is like a concentration camp in there, minus
Um,
the gassing, but I mean the conditions are inhumane.
they have children there. Women are being raped. Children are being raped. Children are being starved. It's gross. And they're
Yeah.
putting more money to this. And these are private, these are their buddies. These are like the prison systems, right? It's they're giving these what $68 billion dollars or whatever ridiculous amount of money it is, don't quote me on that. To build more of these, unleashing undue force on protesters. We've seen this happen time and time again. Severely limiting voting access. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And we're going to talk about this too, censoring critical discussions in the classroom. The whitewashing of America. So I found this Project 2025 tracker that says we only have 1,064 days left of Trump's presidency as of today.
16 hours, 18 minutes, 30 seconds, 29 seconds, 28 seconds.
Let's just, that's our whole podcast. We just count it down.
Just countdown. Like the Y2K countdown.
Yes,
It's just
yes,
this.
we're almost there. There's 320 objectives, and it's quite terrifying. I'll put the link somewhere if people want to check this out
Yep.
because it's what they've already accomplished. So yeah, we gotta talk about it because we don't want them to complete this, or else it turns into the Handmaid's Tale.
Can
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I
get in
just read
there.
one education, and sorry to
Hmm.
interject this.
No, no.
Rescind the Equity in
Hmm.
Idea,
Hmm.
Individuals with Disabilities Education Act regulations.
Hmm.
Note, effectively accomplished by laying off the entire Office of Special Education and Rehabilitative Services, which ensure that states are complying with IDEA regulations.
Hmm. Yeah, they're completely deregulating education in any way that they can. Deregulate private and religious schools, and then they're going to give people a voucher. And they're going to say, hey, you can use this voucher for private or religious schools. So people are going to take those and go to a private or religious school, right? Because they're going to get money for that. They're going to have the Turning Point USA guidebook to fascism. I don't know. uh,
Great.
they want to dismantle anything that makes us look bad, is a little uncomfortable. Anything that holds them accountable. I think that's it. Anything that makes white people accountable for anything. They took down the pride flag at the Stonewall in New York, and then the people of New York are suing, but they also just put it back up. And then the same thing, yeah, the same thing in Philadelphia, outside of Washington's house. They took down all the plaques that basically were like, hey, even though he was our president, he still owns slaves. Even after he's president, he still owns slaves. And even after he died, his wife still owns slaves. I mean, this is our history. We need to learn from it, right? That's what they don't want us to, because I think they still want slaves. I think they would be happy with that.
Anything that can demonize and distract, right? But when we look at the real villains of at least American history and history across the board, it's white dudes. It's
Yeah,
very largely
absolutely.
white dudes,
Rich white
or
dudes.
yeah, or people that were suppressing their homosexuality because they had to, or I mean all of these things that were oppressive expectations that out the other end in a really terrifying way.
On President's Day, sent out a thing that was like, no, you got to put these back up. Like, fuck you, Trump. This is a part of our history. These got to go back up. We're winning a little bit of this rewriting of history, but once again, if our schools are privatized, then we lose all of that, right? They're going to rewrite the history however they want. And what is that history going to look like? People came from England and it was cool.
Killed all the bad guys, and it would turn into, it would evolve into, or devolve rather, into a North Korea type of situation.
Yeah.
Right?
So,
Blind obedience, blind
yeah,
acceptance, no pushback.
definitely what they're going for. But
For
what do you
sure.
teach? What does that history lesson look like? Seems pretty fucking
I
boring.
think it's always been pivoted that way. Christopher Columbus, and then you learn all this shit about the reality of that situation. So I think we have always tried
Yes.
to,
Whitewash. Hmm.
It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. And that's just not how a nation evolves. If you completely ignore history in all facets, then it's not just that you're doomed to repeat it, but you are just a blank slate of TikTok and media and creating the perfect environment for just accepting whatever is given. Even this other one I just saw on this website, promote fertility awareness-based methods as opposed to contraception for family planning. Rerouting birth control funds to menstrual cycle education
Yeah.
classes to try to prevent pregnancy without using birth control. You know, a real man ain't gonna pull out, so that's just gonna...
Uh, all right, here's the hypocrisy of it all, right? How many of these people of the 70 plus, I'm assuming dudes are a part of the Heritage Foundation. I don't know
Yeah,
how many women are involved.
yeah.
How many dudes do you think have had to pay for their mistresses' abortions?
There's hypocrisy in all of it.
Yeah.
And even if you want to boil it down to God and a God-fearing country, God gave us free will. So who the fuck do you think you are to mandate these very basic human rights? I get that there needs to be law and order and structure, but this goes beyond the betterment. It's individual choice and individual freedom. You think there's not suddenly going to be gay people or trans people or any of these things? Like,
Yeah.
what? It's things that have begun since the beginning of time because we're physiologically different. Brains are different. Chemistry is different. It's all different.
They don't like that. They don't like things that are
Ugh.
different or people that are different. And they don't like critical thinking. So they're loving that these kids don't have any critical thinking skills. How do we save critical thinking?
Take their, not let children use iPads and not let children get on social media. Wait till their little frontal cortexes have developed, which is around the age of 25. So no, you cannot have a Facebook page until you're an adult. The thing is, the hole has been dug too deep,
Hmm.
right? You want to bring out this
Hmm.
trad wife movement? Well, guess what? The world is so fucking expensive right now. There's not the luxury to have only one
Yeah.
parent that works to support a family. That's unrealistic for most communities in the United States because rent is thousands of dollars. Most people our age and certainly younger will never be homeowners. We are very fortunate to have been able to buy
Hmm.
when we did, but that is a very unrealistic reality for many people. And then to then have children on top of it and to expect the woman to stay home, that's just you can't.
Well,
You
these
can't.
billionaires can.
Well, they don't, right. That's why groceries is such a cute little word. It's new.
With Project 2025, the damage, not all of it, but a lot of it is irreversible. We can't go back. We can't fix that. So, whatever happens after this, it's a new form of government. It is completely going to have to be something different than it is today, which isn't a, I can't say that that's a bad thing, but it has changed how we've known life thus far. This is definitely a critical turning point to how we all live our lives.
America was about freedom of religion, freedom of choice. That's what it was about. And this is repression. And there's no anonymity, there's no privacy, there's no anything. And that's very terrifying that I don't think it's even about making America anything anymore. It's the cult. It's the cult of Trump. There's no dignity, there's no decorum. Calling people piggies, smile more. What the fuck are you talking about? You are leading America down the honey boo boo, lower the bar, uggo bullshit. Like you are creating a white trash system. That's white trash shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, regardless of where you stand.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is. That's white trash.
That's
I
where we're
guess I
at.
guess that's our culture. But the fact that the man has such little class in any situation should make anybody from any side, even if you supported him at any point, the lack of decorum, the lack of presidential anything about him should disgust you.
Yeah,
Because that's not how a president speaks. It's bananas. You think a
I know.
CEO of just a company could talk to an employee like that?
Hell no.
No fucking way.
Ugh, he's
Gross.
so gross. All right. We will wrap up my Project 2025 happenings this week
All
with
right.
voting. If you're a woman, and you have the means, go get a fucking passport so that you are going to be able to vote. Make sure you're registered to vote. Look at the voting laws. And if you live in a place where maybe you have Hispanic neighbors and they're scared to go vote, maybe go with them. Like, use your whiteness. I don't know. I got to use my whiteness for good. This week, they go in, they seize these voting records, and they're going to take these and they're going to cook the books, and they're going to say that Trump won the 2020 election. And even if they aren't successful with that, this gives him the platform to start the rhetoric to for the primaries, because they want to rig the election. So we have to make this thing too big to rig. Everybody's got to show up. Everybody's got to vote. All of this rhetoric is already starting. He's placing the nuggets that everything's rigged, which at the end of the day, everything he says is a tell, right? Like, this is his narcissistic characteristics.
Yes. Anybody who's ever had a tangle with a narcissist, anybody who can step back and have objective thought, and I don't even mean that. I know that sounds very insulting,
No,
but seriously, just take a look at everything he spews, everything he deflects, diverts. Again, drawing attention to himself after the death of Charlie Kirk, all of these things. Like, that's not how a normal representative of any political party, let alone our
leadership.
president, should ever act, ever, 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 ever. There is zero empathy. There is zero humanitarianism, nothing. There is nothing in him that is not completely self-serving in every single circumstance.
This is what pisses me off. I don't even know if you know who our minority leaders are on the Democrats, like for the House and
Mm-mm.
the Senate. It's Chuck Schumer and
Oh, okay.
Hakeem Jeffries, right?
Okay.
That pisses me off that we don't know who they are, because you
Yeah.
know who you did know? Nancy Pelosi, because they hated her. Republicans hated her because she was out there fighting. They're not fighting for us. They're keeping it status quo. They're not. Chuck Schumer is writing strongly worded letters. He's not fighting for the people. We don't know who they are, and that's a problem.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about
Oh my.
$10 billion and Trump's Dr. Evil plan to get $10 billion from everybody. I don't know. In the news, you might not know about it, but Trump is suing the IRS and the Treasury for $10 billion over his tax return leak. Now, remember, most presidential candidates show their tax returns. I don't even know how these tax returns were leaked, but apparently it's given him so much emotional damage that we all found out this motherfucker hasn't paid taxes probably his entire life, that he's suing us for $10 billion.
How do you have this much time to be a little bitch? Like, he's
The
got
whole
to be
family's
in
in
his
it.
fucking bonnet about everything.
Everything. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Man, how come he hasn't sued anybody about pooping himself? Isn't that interesting?
I mean, well, because then he would have to admit that he poops himself. So, yeah, he's suing us
Where
for
does
$10 billion.
$11 billion even come from? From the
Our
American
tax dollars.
taxpayer?
Yeah.
This is the other thing, is that all these people that give these speeches are so out of touch with reality. Oh, grocery prices have come down. Are you out of your ever-loving
Do
fucking
you
mind?
even buy groceries?
They clearly don't. I go to the store and I see a pack of chicken wings for 17 bucks. And I think, for so many American people, that's an hour of their work, if not a little more after taxes. One
Yeah.
thing of fucking chicken wings, that's an hour of their work. Even here in Massachusetts, where the cost of living, I believe, is number one in the entire country, that's still their minimum wage. They have to work an hour plus to buy that one thing. And you're saying the price of groceries has come down?
Yeah. No.
What?
Well, eggs. The
Oh,
egg prices have went
well,
down.
eggs. So what are you allowed to eat? You're allowed to eat a piece of chicken, a
Uh-huh. A
piece of
tortilla
broccoli, a tortilla,
and
which, by the
something else.
way, is Mexican. And then one other.
Don't tell the culture police. Chicken and broccoli are safe, but that tortilla. But his other $10 billion thing this week is the $10 billion that the US is giving to the Board of Peace. And if you don't know what the Board of Peace is, this is Trump and his little friends from.
Oh, Kazakhstan,
Uh-huh.
uh,
Saudi Arabia, Qatar, United Arab Emirates, the people who gave him the plane. The quote is, "Together we can achieve the dream of bringing lasting harmony to a region tortured by centuries of war and suffering," says the realtor turned president who has spoken improbably of building tourist resorts in Gaza. Trump did not explain exactly where the money would go and whether Congress has approved the contributions he announced for the institution, which has drawn criticism for its opaque nature. Oh, really? So, yeah, this giant board of peace of all the dictators in the world have come together to make a giant resort in Gaza, I guess. I guess maybe that's their first plan of peace. All right, let's send this thing on something fun. The Never Nudes. The Never Nudes have come out. Their mascot is RFK Jr. Who would have guessed? He always works out in jeans. This motherfucker got in a cold plunge
I'm
with
just
his
pulling
jeans
up the
on.
RFK. Secretary Kennedy and Kid Rock's works out in sauna with jeans on. New York Post. I mean, this whole clip.
The whole video is absolutely insane. And if you haven't seen it, I don't recommend it, but also I do. Who drinks milk in a hot tub?
Gross. That's like in Anchorman where he drinks milk in the
It's like
milk
milk
was
was
a
a
bad
bad
choice.
choice. Good for Kid
That's where we're
Rock
at.
trying to better himself. You know who else were butt buddies this week? Dr. Oz and Pete Hegseth. They were like Mediterranean dieting together or something. There's this picture of them hanging on a tree together. And Pete Hegseth is wearing flip-flops. I do not want my Department of Defense to be wearing flip-flops. That does not say, we're going to fight you. That says, I'm going to Epstein Island.
But many years ago, you got me a mug that says "Don't be a dick," and unfortunately, it's been so well loved that you can barely make out the words to it anymore.
It
But
says,
I
don't
think
be
that's
an
just
ick.
just don't be a dick. Just be cool. Rules and regulations are important, of course, to a degree. There's got to be order, but don't infringe on the fundamentals of America. Human rights, even God gave us free will. Cut the shit. Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, and how do we abide by some rules like it's cool to cheat on your wife, but it's not like I mean all of these things. There's so much hypocrisy within these
Yes.
systems inherently, and that's what's fucked up. You cannot pick and choose. You either have to abide or don't. You don't get to pick some and then govern a whole nation under the ones that you feel are right for yourself. And skewing all this propaganda, which is really a word that I haven't heard so prolifically since we've been talking about the Holocaust and Hitler and the Nazis and all those things. That's also extremely terrifying that
Yeah.
that's even a
This is
word
where
that's
we're
in our
at.
zeitgeist right now. But that's what it is. And I think the premise was maybe an illusion of being noble, but it is skewed so far to this self-serving, manipulative, unjust, unrealistic, un-American platform that that's what's very scary because there is so much hypocrisy behind it. It's continue to oppress, continue to judge. I don't know. At the end of the day, use your own moral compass as long as it doesn't suck.
As long as your figure's not off, we got to keep talking about this shit because it's not going away, but there's so much that happens. They want to inundate us with so much stuff that we all just become nihilists, right? Because it's so much we can no longer feel. That's what they want. So we got to keep having the conversations. We got to keep pointing out the hypocrisy. We got to keep at it and keep fighting. I know it's hard and it sucks, but we see time and time again that this motherfucker does not win. Anyway, to wrap this all up, I hope this has been informative and not super sad. We just want to keep the conversation going. We want to expose some of these issues that maybe you forgot about, maybe you didn't know about. I just want to make sure that I'm doing what I can because we ended up here. I think we all want the same things, right? We want access to healthcare. We want fair wages. We want education. These are basic human rights that we should 100% have, that we have 100% paid taxes into, that we're not getting. It's not a red or a blue thing. It's a human rights thing.
Absolutely.
So we got to fight back. We got to fight back.
Yeah, gross.
Yeah. So I'll just say it until next week. Thank you for
Or
joining.
whenever we get around to another one.
Or until we meet again.
Yeah, until next time. Don't
Bye,
don't be weird.
losers.
Don't be a dick.
Smell you
All right,
later.
bye.